Hi, my name is Nicole Young Klein, and I am a speech language pathologist and the owner of Young Talkers. We are so excited to have been serving the needs of the people in Horry and Georgetown counties and beyond. All of our staff are so passionate about working with our patients and helping them make the maximum amount of progress possible. We have a family-based approach here at Young Talkers where we welcome our families into the therapy rooms so that they can watch what their child is doing and also be trained and educated by our speech language pathologist so that they know what to do when they work with their child at home. We also have observation rooms with one-way mirrors which allow the parents to go into the observation room and watch the sessions without their child knowing they're in there. We are very proud of our facility as we have recently expanded last year. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the different areas that we work with for both children and adults. For children, we work with many different difficulties and disorders. Those can include autism, apraxia, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, articulation disorders, reading disorders, feeding and swallowing problems. We also work with voice disorders and stuttering. So there are many different areas that we are working with for your children. We are very excited that we also are able to provide services for adults. In the Myrtle Beach office, the location that you will be having the virtual tour of, we actually have a separate waiting room and therapy rooms for the adults that come to this office. And our Pawleys Island location, we have recently partnered with Coastal Hearing Center and are very excited to be able to provide services for adults in the Pawleys Island location. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the different areas that we work with for adults. Some people don't realize all of the different things that we can help adults with. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what some of those things are. We do work with adults who have had strokes resulting in aphasia, brain injuries, hearing loss, that people that wear hearing aids or have cochlear implants. We work with voice disorders. Some of our speech language pathologists actually have specialized training called LSVT Loud that they can use to work with patients, sometimes Parkinson's patients that have a very low speaking volume, and we can actually work with them to help increase that speaking volume. So that is something that we've been doing that's been great. We also are working with VA patients are being referred to us that we are in network to see them in our office. Some of the other areas that we work with include swallowing disorders, that some people might have difficulties eating and swallowing potentially after maybe they have a stroke. So that's definitely an area that we can work with. We also work with dysarthria and speech difficulties. So if someone is having difficulties saying certain sounds or words, that's something that we can help them with. And we also work with augmentative communication devices for adults who may not be able to verbally communicate and they need assistance. We do have devices that we can train them on and help them to learn to communicate with the devices to give them a voice. We are excited to provide our prospective patients and professionals a short glimpse at our clinic through this virtual tour. I am always happy to come in and meet with any prospective patients that would like an in-person tour of the clinic, as well as to be able to ask me any questions that they might have about our services. If you are interested in our services, you can call us at 843-457-1053 and we would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And now, follow me and we will begin our tour. Welcome to Young Talkers. Let's get started on our tour. And this is where the parents come to check their children in. They come right here to this window to let them know that they're here. This is our island room. We really love this room. It's so happy and cheery. As you can see, beautiful murals, which actually were done by Mike Harrison with Coastal Custom Art. He's done all of our murals and creations that you're going to be seeing on this tour. And as I was talking about earlier, you can see the observation window with the one-way mirror. So you can tell that you cannot see through that. If the children are sitting in here, they're not actually able to see the parents. We want to give you a little peek of the observation room and what that looks like. So some of the parents choose to come in here, and we actually have headphones with a speaker in the therapy room so that they are able to clearly hear what their child is saying. And they can sit in here and close the door and have privacy in the observation room while they're watching the sessions. This is our waterfall rainbow room, we'd like to call it. And I'd like to point out, when he does these murals, he really tries to choose characters from cartoons and movies that the children are very familiar with, that they will identify with. In the corner, we have all of the speech language pathologists have their workstations where they have a computer armoire, and their computer is in there, and they're able to do all of their work out of the computer armoires. Here is another therapy room that we have, and this one does not have any murals. We left it without murals in case we had any children that were overstimulated by the paintings and everything on the walls. We wanted to make sure that we had a room that they could come in to do therapy. And this is our conference room. So we have our weekly staff meetings in here, as well as if we have any professional speakers that come in to present to the group. And sometimes our speech language pathologist will do presentations for the rest of the staff. So this is what we use the conference room for. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is one of our waiting rooms. This, we actually call this our Tiki Hut waiting room. As you can see, once again, Mike Harrison with Coastal Custom Art has created and built this Tiki Hut for us, which the kids absolutely love. Inside of the Tiki Hut, there's some different games with magnets and things like that, and of course it really brings the imagination out for the kids. They like to pretend it's a restaurant, so it makes for a lot of fun for the kids. It is kind of short getting in there, so you gotta have to duck to get in, but the kids absolutely love playing in there. We also have in the waiting room, of course you can see we have the beach scene mural on the wall, which everyone loves, very appropriate for where our office is. We do have a TV where we normally have Disney Junior or movies playing for the kids while they're waiting. And we also keep a bulletin board with lots of articles, handouts, and information for the parents to be able to look at and to take with them. Okay, now we're actually going to make our way over to Neverland, where we have another waiting room and another set of therapy rooms. Okay, and now we're going to be going into the sensory room. So we like to bring some of the kids back to this room who might need a little more sensory input to help them have potentially a more productive session. So we have lots and lots of different things in here. As you can see, a swing, which they love. We've got a tunnel, weighted blankets, yoga ball. We have a sandbox, trampoline. So these are all things that, of course, kids love to come and play on to help them get ready for their session. Okay, now we are entering Neverland. So this is another waiting room that we have for the set of therapy rooms on this side of the building. And as you can see, we have a pirate ship. So this is very, very popular with all the children, as you would imagine. Once again, Mike Harrison actually custom built this pirate ship for us and did all the painting, all the artwork, and everything on it that you see. The kids have so much fun. It really brings out a lot of imaginative play when they're in here waiting for their sessions. It's definitely a highlight. And the murals, of course, are along the lines of the Neverland, and then bringing in Pirates and Nemo for some fun as well. This is a very spacious waiting room that we have to give the parents and adults a lot of space to move around while they're waiting for their sessions. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the other set of therapy rooms on this side of the building. This is our adult waiting room. So as I was talking about earlier, we do have a separate waiting room and entrance for our adult patients. And they actually go to the window over there, and that's where they check in when they come in for therapy. And this is our adult therapy room. So when our adult patients come in, they come right out of the waiting room into this therapy room, and that's where we do their therapy with them.